Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to this Patrons video for Ghost, where today we're going to be reviewing a track. Let's switch over to here. We got Trouble by Aishin, Play a Yum. That is what Deep L translated for me, so apologies if there is a misinterpretation of that. I work with what we've got. I work with the resources I've got. I was also provided for some lyrics, but I don't trust Deep L to translate those in a way that's going to be respectful or appropriate to the song, so I will only venture as far as having the video here. But anyways, look, we're going to listen through this track from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. Oh, this is kind of pretty with these pianos. And the that reverse fade or that riser there going into everything. Some filtered vocals here. Don't know whether they're vocal chops or something else. Okay, this is kind of future wave. Future bass. It's charming. It's got some traditional instruments there, some traditional instruments. I hesitate to say Chinese instruments because then they could be from like another country around that area, you know? I don't want to seem like I'm lumping it all into one boat. It really just needs, I need to study more about that kind of thing. Okay, the vocals are nice and present in the mix. Interesting melody that's being repeated here. They're comfortable within their vocal ranges. I'm not sure how they got this video. It sounds like YouTube has been doing some pretty savage filtering to this. Maybe B-Cut is like a site where like people can access this information and people have put it onto YouTube or something like that. The production quality sounds too good for this to be the raw format. But that's okay, you know. Interesting drums, nice trap hi-hats coming in here. Lots of variation with that vocal melody there in this part. Nice to distinguish it as a chorus. Again, like as a person who doesn't understand the language, maybe my experience, it could be seen as a detriment because I don't maybe get the whole story of what's going on here. But nonetheless, I can appreciate the musicality of both the vocal lines and the surrounding synth parts, the harmonies there, and how everything interacts with one another. Kind of sounds uplifting, doesn't it? Like it's full of hope. Unfortunately, if that's not what the song is about, I've misinterpreted it, but you know, it's okay. That's the joy of music, it's subjective. I think people were told me that like this was like an opera. It's like a type of opera vocal or something like that. Like Chinese opera or something like that. And again, if I'm wrong, let me know. Let me know if I misinterpreted that. But like having those operatic vocals there, it's a nice change from what we have with these more sort of straight cut approaches we have with the lead sections otherwise. Interesting raindrop sounds here as an additional percussive element. Adds a nice little bit of reverb there, even if that's not the intention there, but it's good. Not sure if I liked that part very much. It seemed like we were, again, it might be something that comes with the context of understanding the story of the song and what it's about. But nonetheless, you know. Oh, kitty cat. I don't know if that's related to the story, but it's here. Not a lot of change here from what we had previously though. We're keeping it reasonably safe inside a box. You know, having the clicks in here as an opposition, as opposed rather to the drops of water we had before. It's a nice way of cutting through the mix. There's lots of misty elements within this track, and sometimes you need something to slice through that. Even if it's on the half time 2 and 4 beats. Oh, we have both types of vocals here at the end. Smart move here, getting those to come together. Oh, we have the big bass drop there, the whoosh there. I assume something dramatic has occurred there, although we've got like the picture of like the wine bottles and the peaches and stuff like that. I'm not sure how close the video is to the music or the audio itself, but it's okay either way, you know, great song. You know, great song. It's nice to listen to them. Again, I'm not sure if I got the name of the artist right, but it's okay. Because this is the conclusion to this video of Trouble by Asian Player. Thank you again to Ghost for their suggestion for this month's SP Patreon video. It's nice to be able to hear more future-based stuff like this. I don't get to listen to it often enough. A lot of the times people are wanting to go back in time to where they were like distorted guitars or like old school hip-hop vibes or something. Or they're trying to go far into the future and try and create something we never heard before. And while both those things are totally valid, it's nice to just have a bit of the 2010s come back. You know, the story, again, I'm not sure what the story is about. I'm not sure what the story is about because I don't have translation of the lyrics, which is fine. You know, that isn't a requisite. If I was to guess what the song is about without understanding the words, I'd say that this track is about someone hoping for something better from life and wanting it to improve. Maybe having well wishes for another person. There was a hint of sadness in those harmonies sometimes, so maybe we want things to be different than they were before. I feel like I'm doing a psychic reading here. I suppose I am, aren't I? I'm trying to see what isn't obvious to me. But, you know, it's great. It's fine. If I'm completely wrong, you can let me know in the comments. We've got the vocals themselves, you know. The opera singer could sing, you know. Great use of technique there. Those really wide vibratos there. And that style, I don't know how to describe that style of singing. It's very unique. It's instantly recognizable. And it contrasted well with the more straightforward way of using the pipes in the lead melodies of the verse and chorus sections. There was a softness to it. We were comfortable again within our range. We were showing a bit of vulnerability there in the way we were emoting ourselves throughout the performance. So that was fine. Ultimately, it served its purpose and worked well with the texture of the other elements of the mix where we had like synths, you know, basses and drums and clicks and raindrops and other bits of foley and sub drops and all that. You know, it was that typical electronic music modern production kind of thing from the 2010s to 2020s, you know. Got nothing but love for that. It's what I grew up with. It's something that's very familiar to me. There was nothing within this song that was totally revolutionary, but I think at the same time that's what'll make it more accessible to people, especially if they're new to this musician or what they do. So that's great though. That's good times. I mean, additionally, you know, the production, recording, mixing, and mastering was sensational there. It sounded like it came from a major label. Really, I don't hear much of this type of music that is produced poorly. It's almost sometimes a little bit too clean for my tastes. I don't know whether I would have necessarily liked there to have been any major changes to this track after listening to it. I would really need to understand it in context, and I'd also need to see the other work that this musician did. So obviously, if you're watching this and you're like, yo, I want to get a custom monthly review done, become an SP patron. Do that, you know. Join the SP Patreon. It's all good. We don't bite. And I will review whatever song you want me to review as long as it's under like 7.5 minutes. But yeah, aside from that, you know, limiting compression was great. EQing was solid. Effects changeable bits were fine. Bit of filtering here and there. We didn't just sit on the same percussive element. Or we switched up the synths and the colorations and textures so it stayed fresh whilst also everything stacking itself well in the frequency spectrum. And yeah, got no real complaints about it. But thank you very much for watching this review. Hang on, I gotta find the song. My review of Trouble by Asian Player Yum. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show these musicians and artists some love via their various social medias and YouTube page. Stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as either have more than ever the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I will catch you in the next review. Spiderhands Out.